Hello, dear friends. Here we are at Kardec Radio, and we are here live on Facebook Live at Kardec Radio, and also we're here at the app or the website kardecradio.com. We are working with you 24 hours, streaming programs non-stop. We have a list of more than 60 programs being streamed at Kardec Radio and many more to come. And if you are listening to us and watching us and you feel like helping at Kardec Radio, we need help. And we're welcoming your help. You know, thanks to this venue, we have been able to advance our efforts, and you're welcome to help us. Just drop us a line at kardecradio@gmail.com, okay? There is always a whole lot more to be done to nourish the billions of souls around the world. Right now, Kardec Radio is in the thousands, aiming at the millions and billions, incarnates, discarnates, giving them a hand, because what nourishes your soul and my soul shall also nourish everybody's soul. Remember, we're not here to be saints. The goal is not to nourish our souls to become meditating gurus. No, we are here to be strong, to face our obstacles and bounce back when we make a mistake. Because after all, God allows us to make mistakes, and it's on us to stand up again and do better, right? We can always improve, and only God knows the effort we are making. We have been studying a book that is unique. Of all Spiritist books that are being published around the world, the books that contain poetry are certainly unique. And why do we say this? Because Leon Denis, let me read to you a statement by Leon Denis in a book that is coming about in English, Spiritism in the Art. He says, poetry is a form of music. And you know, he says music, better than words, represents music, which is one of the laws of life. So it is the very voice of the world. These are Leon Denis words in the book Spiritism in the Art. Music here is not this mundane music. We're talking about the music that is highly synchronous with the harmony of life. That really uplifts, that really vibrates higher. That music is what he's talking about. That is one of the laws of life, because it represents the movement of life. So poetry is a form of music, and it's subjected to the laws of rhythm and vibration, which are the laws in life in their higher states. True literary merit, the qualities of a beautiful style, are to provoke thought, and that Casimiro Cunha does in his poetry. Reflections of the reader, and he certainly does it to us. And create a mental atmosphere that helps our development as spirits and enriches our moral forces. And that's what we need. We need it because only God knows our daily lives, how it is. Like a normal daily life. You think, you know, Chico Xavier was so real, for real, that many people didn't believe he was Chico Xavier, because they thought of Chico Xavier as being this guru of the beyond who would be like there meditating the whole day. No, he was working. He would take care of people. He would deal with everyday issues like every one of us. But the difference is how he managed it, and later how he used his free time as well. Much more, he did much more than that. Love. But he taught us about the wisdom of managing health and vitality and other resources that are given to us. So here we have also Casimiro Cunha, born in 1880, discarnated in 1914. 34 years he became a spiritist, though blind, and wrote books, founded a Spiritist Center with others in the city of Vassouras, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and bought us poetry when he discarnated. Through Chico Xavier, he bought us these immortal spiritists. And I'm going to show you the book I haven't showed. This is an older version. Drops of Light. Sipping Drops of Light. This book, I have to pay a tribute to a friend who gave it to me, Adriano Barbo, from the Mount Vernon Spiritist Center. He came once visiting us many years ago, and he gave it to me. And I said, wow, life is so much easier because this drop of light really connects us, recalibrate ourselves, and say, I will do better tomorrow than I did today, and in the future, even better. Investing in our spiritual growth. Talking about it all, chapter 4 today is about understanding. But I'm not alone. Leia Severo is here with us.
Hi everybody, how are you? Very fun to be here again.
Thank you, Leia.
Thank you.
And Leia is working in a beautiful new project that Kardec created on the prayers that are published in André Louis' books. She is helping us, is in a teamwork effort, put together the references so other friends can record, right, and make it available to you. Right, Leia?
Yes, tomorrow will be ready.
Yeah, Leia is working machine.
For
good purposes,
every
right?
time.
Yeah.
For good every time.
Yeah.
Good things.
Beautiful, beautiful. Are you ready, friends? But you know, Leia is here, cannot forget. Fraternity Without Borders. If you want to help, go to fraternitywithoutborders.org. For those who are entering today, don't know about it. It's about an outreach program, unique outreach program that is happening, especially in Mozambique, Madagascar, but also in the northeast of Brazil, helping especially orphans, but families, communities have a dignified life, from house to bed to food to education to professionally studies and empowerment, so they can build a community that is self-sustaining. So if you want to help, $20 a month, you're sponsoring them, and you can do much more. You can travel there as a volunteer. Just go to fraternitywithoutborders.org or buy a t-shirt, right, Leia?
Yes, Angelita.
Angelita
Contact
is
Angelita.
here, right? Talking about friends. Welcome, friends. Welcome, Katia. How are you, beautiful? Joyce as well. Dear little Daniel, becoming bigger boy. And Marco Magalhães. Right? Beautiful, beautiful. Our beautiful Rihanna. Rihanna, how beautiful. Our South Africa there, near to Mozambique. You know, I just realized it later, Rihanna, can you believe it? I need to go back to school and study geography. Yeah. Danny, soon Danny's gonna be here. Thank you, Danny, for your help, and beautiful Erica as well. My friend Shane Martin, I hope you're strong because we need you. And the little cat. Nina, how are you? Did you get the books? Please let me know, okay? Solange, how are you? Sol, how are you? Beautiful Sol. Love seeing everybody taking care of themselves. It's inspirational to us as well. Lisa Teles, friend and brother Adilson, how are you? It's wonderful to be here with you. Luciana Tuani, beautiful Ceisa, how are you? Patricia and Tiago, love the flowers and the hearts. And of course, Rudy Leia.
Rudy. Rudy.
He's saying, present to understand.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah. Friends, friends, friends. Ready for the music of the beyond, the Spiritist poetry. What an honor to be here, rejoicing in the leisure of our homes, or wherever we are right now. If you're listening to this on demand, at work, anywhere, the leisure of internet, connections, and cherishing Spiritist poetry. Thank you, Chico Xavier. Thank you, Casimiro Cunha. Gratitude always, right, Leah?
Yes.
And this poem today is about understanding. I confess to you, I've been meditating today on this understanding. Remember, Thought and Life, chapter 10. Understanding. It's the unique venue through which we can transform our lives. We need higher understanding. E Casimiro Cunha, he says, my friend, he's calling you and I, my friend. If you seek the glory of redemption, turn on the light of the gospel in the temple of your heart. Let light shine strongly in the depth of your being. Those who cannot see cannot understand either. In this illuminated blessing, we will find in each person their own plan, in each place their own thing. The experience on earth will smoothly go without conflicts. You will win it without fear, without being offended by evil. If you wish, okay, sorry friends, the paper just moved to another page. Forgive me, it's on this other side. Okay, hold on. Computer, can you help us? Okay. My friend computer is here and he's helping us. Speaking again. Tolerance and understanding. It's also to practice understanding here in our community. Okay? Let us understand. My friend, if you seek for the glory of redemption, turn on the light of the gospel in the temple of your heart. Let light shine strongly in the depth of your being. Those who cannot see can neither understand. In this illuminated blessing, we will find in each person their own plan, in each place their own thing. The experience on earth will go by smoothly. You will win without fear, without being offended by evil. With illuminated spirit, to the light of love, no one will I think there's a word missing here, will bump in the harvest of the Lord, or trip. Contemplate the ungrateful in the transitory journey, people who got sick of their own vision and memory. In the companions of darkness, battling hard and filled with wrath, we'll see our brothers who have nervous problems. In the blasphemous tongues, you will often find the unhappy ignorance, the cold, the hunger, the nudity. When you seek the Master, you will note the stones of the hostile field, in the addictions and also the vices, the diseases and thousands of shadows. Let us then seek Jesus, the great understanding, in order to win brightly the battles around us. Okay, we just had a few bumps here in the translation, but never mind. This is our laboratory for it all, friends. And this is what we have, okay? This is what we have here, understanding. Do you remember when Emmanuel, in the book Thought and Life, talked about understanding? He said, the beauty of understanding is that it's going to reveal to us a new way of seeing life. Today I was listening to a meditation by Louise Hay on self-love. And she says, quite clearly, that when we boost our understanding, we'll be able to unveil the mysteries of life that have been bothering us. In the book Jesus in the Home, the spirit Neil Lúcio, through Chico Xavier, tells us a story of a man who couldn't understand the world and why people were rough, were ignorant, were combative. And Jesus comes and tells the story of this master who brought this disciple to the scenarios of each and every person that he encountered, who were rude, who were, there were a lot of misunderstandings, people who were struggling in their relationships, and the Master was showing to them on the behind the scenes what was happening. People were sick, feeling pain, that's why they were abrasive. Other people, they were more apparently not understanding of ourselves, of the man in this case, and it showed how that person was in a rush to help a loved one. So when we ask ourselves, why doesn't this person help me more, or say hi, or pay more attention to this, maybe the person is under pain, or a lot of demands, or a lot of financial constraints. You never know. So we need to boost our discernment, to feel less frustrated, to take things less personal as well. Because if we take things too personal, we'll be paralyzed. Have you heard of the story? I forgot the book where it was published. I think it's the book Estante da Vida, if I'm not mistaken. But the spirit Humberto de Campos, through Chico Xavier, tells us about the story of a beautiful tree. Beautiful, fruitful. And one day, a worm came along, went up and started eating every leaf, destroyed the whole tree. Humberto de Campos then says, That worm is our oversensitivity. In Portuguese, melindre. Oh my, I don't like that word either. But we hopefully don't like that inside of us. Because when we're oversensitive, it's like this little worm that comes and eats up our beauty. How many people have amazing talents? And they're like, well, these people, they want my help, but I'm not gonna help. Why? Because they mistreated me in the past. Well, congratulations, your tree is about to be ruined. Because that worm, sensitivity, is gonna eat you up. You're going to be paralyzed. That's why we have to constantly focus and say, I'm serving God. And if these people have hurt me and they invite me to work, I will help. Because it's also my exercise of forgiveness and understanding. Especially understanding. And how many of us hurt other people and we don't even know? We don't even notice. And we want them to understand us. To understand the pressures. To understand our shortcomings. To understand that we're trying our best and yet we're not achieving it. We're demanding understanding, but the question is, are we giving it? We can only receive what we give. Are we giving understanding? Or are we only demanding it? And then we become oversensitive. And then we're useless. Where are we? Where are you? Let's ask. It's a therapeutic conversation. In these drops of light, we are shedding light in the spots of darkness inside of us that's still filled with ignorance. Where is it, my friends? Shall we ask this question? Are you too sensitive? Oversensitive? But people, let them be. In the Spirit's book by Kardec, when we study the law of justice, love, and charity, the first question is, what is the definition of justice according to the spirits? And the answer is, justice is to respect people's rights, everyone's rights. People have the right to be and to do what they want to be and want to do. And I, Vanessa Anseloni, if I am demanding on them anything, I am wrong. I'm not being just. Because God doesn't demand. When our dear friend Bartholomew talked to Jesus and talked about people who didn't understand him, his brothers, his father, his work colleagues, the colleagues at work. Jesus said, remember, Nicodemus, truth does not demand, it transforms. These drops of light are here to transform us. Let the oversensitivity go so we can boost our understanding. Our understanding begins, you may be asking, and it's a fair question, where does it begin? Mentor Joseph is saying, you can only understand others when you understood yourself. If it's hard for me to understand myself, I'll have a hard time understanding people too. So I begin from my zone of management, myself. Others, I cannot do anything. But I can understand them if and only if I understand myself. How do I understand myself? Question of the Spirit's book. Self-knowledge. The answer, self-knowledge. When I read this, I ask myself, Casimiro Cunha is telling something very personal to us. My friend, if you search for the glory of redemption, light up the gospel in the temple of your heart. That clarity is going to make us understand ourselves and much more. And when he says a lot of the gospel, he's talking about what? The good news. We're immortal spirits. God is helping us and sustaining our lives. And we reincarnate as much as possible until we progress to another level. And there are many mentions to this discovery in the universe. And we're never alone because there are two realms collaborating for the progress of everyone. That light, the law of love, that certainty, when we light it up in our hearts, we can understand why, as he says here, people are not grateful. Well, they are people who are sick. It says, of their vision and their memory. Oh, my children are ungrateful. So sorry for them. They're sick. Of immaturity. One day they will remember. People who are very combative, they have mental issues, he's saying. People who slander, talk against people, they are unhappy, ignorant people. Hopefully, we don't play that anymore. Because if we slander, we're the ones doing the same. I confess to you that the other day, Mentor Joseph was saying, Vanessa, slander is when you talk about bad things. And I said, oh my gosh, that's not good. One thing is to be the educator, or like a student of medicine. I'm studying the disease to learn how to cure. That's a possibility. But the other is when Allan Kardec, for example, he published the cases of diseases of the mind. Go to the heaven and hell. Different cases. But he didn't do this out of slander. He did this out of our knowledge, self-knowledge and growth. Collective. The problem is when I tell somebody something bad about somebody else, I can't sleep during the night, and I incurred in a mistake. I shouldn't have said it. And he says, unhappy ignorance, cold, hunger, nudity. So he ends up by reminding us, where do you grab a hold of the horn of life? The Master. With Jesus, we acquire understanding, and then we are going to light and shine this light of understanding so we can keep working. As Lea Severo told me before we started, not with our difficulties, but our challenges of growth. Right, Lea?
Yes, this is the word.
That's the word. Challenges. Right, Martelena, Mônica, beautiful Mônica, Daniel Castellani, Julija. My friends, the Drops of Light today is about understanding. What is our homework? It's in two compartments. A, are we too sensitive? Are we being oversensitive and allowing the worm of destructive oversensitivity to eat us up? And B, let us understand more of ourselves. Shine this light of the gospel and understand that people, when they're happy, they do happy things. When they are doing unhappy things, they're not happy. They are sick. At some point, they are out of sync. They need our understanding. Let us pray for one another. As Nina is saying, let us pray for each other. And let's hope that these drops are going to make our next 24 hours in immortality much lighter, much, much brighter. Shall we? A big hug of gratitude. A big hug of joy. Bye-bye, friends. Bye to Leah.
Bye-bye, friends. See you tomorrow.